Hi, Karina here, your Lucid Living Coach. I'm coming to you from Tahoe. It is like a super windy day. It's been windy for the last week, and my guess is it is the winds of change. Everything is a reflection of us as a humanity. This is our home. We are one with this earth. When our earth feels things and our planets, we feel things. So I'd like to start off with a brief breakdown of what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to be talking about the July 2019 transits. We have two eclipses and we have 3 moon cycles. So I just wanted to share with you exactly what the North and South Node are, so you guys understand that. And then I'll talk about what a solar eclipse is and a lunar eclipse is, and also the important cusps in a natal chart to kind of give you an idea, and then a closer look at the Cancer and Capricorn energies. So, let's see. There is a lot going on and I don't even know where to begin. I have attempted to record this video a couple times. Mercury is stationary and it's just not working out for me. So, I'm doing it this 3rd time. So, hopefully it'll record. Do you hear that? That's a hummingbird. So the main areas of your natal chart or astrology chart is the ascendant, which is Aries. It begins, the cardinal. Then you have your MC, which is the very top of your chart, and that's called the midheaven. That's Capricorn ruled house. It is the peak energy. Then you have the descendant, which is opposing the ascendant, which is Libra, and it's all about balance. And then you have the lower end of the chart, the very darkest, lowest point of the chart, and that's called your IC, which is Cancer. It's your home, the 4th house, and it resembles death. So, with that being said, this new moon is in Cancer, and it has to do with the IC, which is the death part of our chart. It is the home. It's the hidden. It's the things that people don't see. It is the way that you perceive and see the world. It was how you were raised as a child. It's also your past lives. It's your relationship that you have with your feminine energy as well as your mother. The opposing energy is the MC. This is your peak energy. It's you feeling your best. And that is not working anymore. So maybe things that we used to find comfort in and stability is no longer providing that comfort and stability. And that could be very uncomfortable. But it's all about going with the flow, blowing up that raft and flowing with the river. It doesn't really matter what river you take because it all ends up in the big ocean below. Okay? So a total solar eclipse is when the moon passes fully or partially between the sun and the earth. So it's blocking the sun. So there will be a moment of death. So for every death and coldness, there'll probably be a coldness that day. There's going to be a rebirth and an awakening and an enlightening. So why doesn't this happen every new moon? Because they're all aligned. Well, it's because this specific new moon is on the moon's nodes, and that's in Cancer and Capricorn right now. Now, a lunar eclipse is when the moon passes directly behind the earth and into its shadow. So this could only occur when the sun, earth, and moon are exactly or closely aligned to the ecliptic. What is the North Node? The North Node is essentially the node of the moon, okay? This changes every year and a half. Right now, the north node is in Cancer and the south node is in Capricorn. And these year and a half is where all the eclipses will be highlighting. So the north node is in Cancer. This is the area in which the collective is supposed to be heading. This is, in a natal chart, this is the least amount of experience, and therefore why we have reincarnated here, or if you don't believe in past lives, this is what we are here to learn. And the south node is the dragon's tail, and this is where we're moving away from. So maybe this is the area that you have the most experience with, because maybe you were taught as a child, or you have already perfected that energy in a past life. So collectively, this is the area of focus. It's the Cancer energy. So what is Cancer? Cancer is an emotionally assertive, it is a cardinal sign, and it's water is the element. So it is about the moon and the mother. Its ruler is the moon, and it changes signs every 2.5 days. And that's why some people would call Cancer energy moody. Okay, it has to do with the moon, moody. This particular solar eclipse will be conjunct the north node. So it's a total solar eclipse, July 2nd. It is a new moon. The moon and the sun will both be in Cancer, and it will be directly opposing Saturn conjunct the south node and Pluto. I wanted to give you some past dates of where this eclipse at 10 degrees of Cancer has happened in the past, just so you can look at where you were in the past and what stage in your life, what you went through. There might be some similar themes around this July 2nd solar eclipse. We have July 1st, 2000. That was at 10 degrees. December 30th, 2001 at 9 degrees. July 11th, 2010, 19 degrees. July 1st, 2011. So look at those dates, see what was happening, what was changing for you, and then use that to your benefit. So Cancer is the reflection of the soul, psyche, subconscious, emotions, receptivity, water, it's the yin, it's your mother, it's your intuition, it's your right brain. So we should be asking ourselves, what is our intuition saying? What is our emotion saying? Listen to that, because that is the truth. So what does this mean for us? In our own personal lives, this is a time where we should be reflecting on what we consider home. We should also be reflecting on how our mother has contributed to our relationships today, and what the masculine and the feminine energy is in our lives, right? Because we have the sun and the moon in Cancer, which is the feminine energy, and we have Saturn and Pluto in the south node in the masculine energy. This is the area that we're trying to move away from, and this is the area that we're trying to move to. Now, there needs to be, because they're opposing each other, there needs to be some happy medium, or trying to find our balance in the middle of this masculine and feminine energy. This also could be a battle between our career and our work and our family life and our friends, and trying to balance these two. We can get really caught up with our career, our 9 to 5, or our work, where we can become workaholics and let the things that mean the most to us just on the back burner, like our family, our wives, our husbands, our kids, our family, our parents, our grandparents, our friends. Like all of that is in the realm of Cancer area in this eclipse. This is also showing Saturn at the South Node. Saturn is the ruler of structures and systems. It is the ruler of karma. And it is the timekeeper. It is the father of time. It gives us the sense of this linear perception of time that we have been programmed and taught. However, time is a circle, the infinity eight. Time never ends, right? Because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And our spiritual being moves on after this body has shut down. Okay? And with that being said, what are we contributing to humanity and our lives at this time? Our question should be asking ourselves, what is our value? What do we believe? And how are we taking a stand for what we believe? There's a lot of things that are coming up. Pluto's digging things up and showing us the real truth in our systems and how they are not working anymore. They are old systems and they are corrupt, and there's no control or fairness around it. It's either you have the money, you have the power, and it's passed down generations and generations. Wow, that wind just picked up. Let's see. We are to listen to our intuition. Listen to that voice inside. Listen to your emotions, because that will give you a clue as to what the truth is. If it doesn't feel right, then don't do it. If you are being pulled in a certain direction, go with it. There's just been a lot of disturbing things on the news. And we all know that the presidency is coming up for a re-election. Now, all of a sudden, things are going to get ugly. People are fighting to win, not for humanity, not for peace, and not for unity. I'm seeing separation. I'm seeing lives at stake for the power of the mighty dollar, which is an old system, which is no longer serving us. Hence the blockchain technology and the cryptocurrencies. Now, I wanted to do a video on that, just about like the Libra. I did do some research on that, and it's very different than Bitcoin, but along the same lines. And I think that it will invite many people that are not active in cryptocurrencies to be more active. And I think that people just don't understand fully. And once people become enlightened, we'll have more people on board. It's taking the money outside of the one power, government, and it puts it back into the small communities of people here. All right, so that has a little bit also to do about this transit. We have Mars entering Leo on the 1st. This is going to be a nice energy of really bringing us back, I believe, a couple years ago when the North Node was Leo and Aquarius. And the main focus was, who am I outside of the group, outside of the collective? How do I differ? What makes me unique? And what are my strengths? And we were honing in on that aspect of ourselves and figuring out what our strength was so we can strengthen it and come back to the collective with what we are here to do. And I feel like that Mars moving through Leo and speaking to Mercury. Mercury will be in Leo and it will retrograde into Cancer on the 18th of July. And then it will turn direct on the 31st with the new moon in Leo. And that's one reason why I say it. Juno is also there. So during this total solar eclipse, we'll have Mars, Mercury, and Juno all conjunct in Leo. This is speaking about our authenticity to our soul's mission, what our strength is, and being able to be that light and that beacon in the world of darkness. I feel this is also giving us that energy that's necessary to be able to communicate our creative ideas, our eccentric and future progressive ways at looking at how the systems are being run, and even in our own daily lives within our own small networks of people. It's not about being frustrated of a list of things to do and, oh, it's going to take me forever to get my voice out there. The book's going to take forever to write, or it's going to take forever to be on TED Talks, or whatever that might be. But understanding that it's a process and it takes one step. And if that small step is in your small community of people, maybe it's going to one of the meetings, the city meetings, or maybe it's speaking at a small coffee shop or an open mic, your views on things. So at least it's out there for people to understand and know that there's different perspectives of looking at things. This is about looking at things as a nurturing mother and not as a strict father, because I definitely have felt some tension coming up, and I consider those triggers because there's so much media being pumped out that doesn't feel right in my spirit. It feels very unauthentic, very fake, very staged, and I'm pretty good at catching a liar. And that's my Mars conjunct Pluto in Libra in the third. So this is a time of delusionment as well. There is a square happening from Jupiter to Neptune. Things could be looking quite differently than the reality of what they truly are. So be careful at this time being deceived, even with people around you, but also being deceived by the media. And ask your questions, like dig deeper. The best thing that we could do is just ask the right questions, because we might get the right answers. And sometimes there is no answers, and sometimes that is the right answer. There are a lot of things going on. Pluto conjunct Saturn on the South Node is not a pretty energy. This is preparing us for the big exact conjunction of Saturn and Pluto that's happening in January of 2020. Astrologists and other spiritual leaders have been talking about this conjunction for quite some time now. And we have already predicted this maneuver of presidency and the government kind of shifting our perspectives to try to win the light of something that is not of the light. I personally am not associated with a political party. I am a free thinker and I don't like to put myself in those kinds of boxes. I feel that every single party has something to offer. And if we were to all put our specialties, our expertise in, just like a company's run at a table, we could all come to an agreement. However, our system is about giving one party all the power. And we have this seesaw teeter-totter effect. And within those periods of time, which isn't really getting us anywhere from one extreme to the other. It's not winning and losing. It's finding a happy medium. I feel pretty strongly that the Republican Party has and does have support from the churches. And from what I understand is the Republicans are not for helping the people. They're for the big corporations and businesses to keep the money in the rich's hands. And what I know of the Democratic Party is they're always pushing to help the lower income people and help people in need. Which I'm kind of confused about the fact that the Republicans are supported by the churches, but the churches believe in Jesus and to like put others before you and to love your neighbor as yourself. And Mexico's our neighbor, and why are we putting up these big walls? And I'm just so confused. And how they try to preach, you know, God we trust and all this stuff, but that's not trusting. That's untrusting. And I just don't understand how the churches give all this support to this party that doesn't speak of Jesus and its teachings at all. So that's just something to think about and look at. I was raised Christian. I have much knowledge about the church, and I do read the Bible just to see what it's all about. There is great teachings, and Jesus was a great prophet and leader and change maker. But he also hung out with the prostitutes. He also got dirty with the village people. He also washed the feet of his disciples before they were going to kill him. So there's all these things that just aren't aligning correctly in me. As a spiritual teacher, and the things that I'm seeing in the astrology chart and the past that we've had these conjunctions, the Saturn-Pluto, there has been war. And I just am praying for the people all over the world that they are safe. Because money is the root of all evil. And as far as we've come in electric cars, battery-operated cars, we don't need the oil as much as the people that have their hands in those companies need it. So, with that being said, I'm sorry it got kind of political, but things need to be said and things need to be asked and revealed because it's just so confusing and asked backwards. It's like people projecting their darkness on others. We're all one. We're all here just trying to make this world as best as we can without having money and greed and power get in our way and ego. Because this is the opposition that the Saturn, Pluto, Capricorn, masculine, overdrive, ego, and then Cancer. I'm loving, though, that Mars is in Leo. Because if Mars was on the South Node with it, that I would be more predicting like war and stuff. So we'll see what's up. I really hope that I'm wrong about what I'm feeling. But with that being said, I hope you guys make it a great July. And I will be doing another video on the partial lunar eclipse in Capricorn. That will be at 24 degrees. This one's at 10 degrees of Cancer, which is a new beginning and it is a new start. And that's exciting. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for sharing my videos. I love you guys. Peace out, your Lucid Living Coach. If you're interested in learning more about the North Node in Cancer, South Node in Capricorn, I highly recommend go check out my video. I'll put the link below to my video I made a year, I think, ago about the North Node in Cancer. And I'd like to make an announcement. I will be doing a Cruisin' the Cosmos speech at the Heartbeat Collective in Oakland on July 28th. I will be speaking about the Saturn return, as well as the transits of August of 2019, the post-eclipse series. This will be at 3630 Telegraph Avenue in Oakland at 6 p.m. So show up. It is a free donation base. So come on out and get that information, especially if you're coming up to 28. So people that are 28 to 31, let's say, are in their Saturn return, as also people that are around 57 to like 60, 61 is also in their second Saturn return. So if you're any of those ages, you might want to come join us to find out more about what the Saturn return is and how it's affecting you in your life and what you can do to prepare and to satisfy that karmic energy. Also, if you are, let's say, 25, any time before, few years before your Saturn return, it's nice to know ahead of time what to prepare for. And it is about preparing because Saturn is about karma. So whatever you put in, you will get out. So yeah, tune in, and I hope to see you on July 28th in Oakland. All right, peace out.